We're back, people, and today we're bringing a film on Odell Beckham Jr. Miami Dolphins signed him in free agency, and I think this is exactly what they needed at that third wide receiver position. After the draft, after adding the two Washingtons, they got really, a lot of help in the slot, but now having another outside threat as your, number 3 guy that can really, create separation, beat man-to-man, get open in those one-on-one situations, I think is so important. Plus, he, it just adds more reliable hands. Like, all the guys I've added are just reliable hand guys. He can impact all down the field. Like, he got open a lot down the field, and Tua, one of the better downfield throwers in the league, and he can really maximize that skill set. Also, I think all of Odell's best routes are typically on these in breakers, running slants, glances, dig routes, which the Dolphins love to run. One of Odell's best years in recent time has when he was playing for the Rams, and the Rams run a similar type of scheme as the Dolphins do. So it's going to be exciting to see him get to work within this scheme, make some tough catches, and I think, in case, you have an injury to one of your top 2 guys, or, you're rotating them in and out, Odell can come on the field and actually help out. I still think he has enough juice left in the tank to still be a solid third guy, and they got him for fairly cheap. I don't know if people saw the contract, but the base was just $3 million, and then it can be up to 8.25, so 5.25 are in incentives, and I imagine it's going to be tough to get all of those incentives. So seems like a very team-friendly deal like that for Miami, and he still definitely got enough left in the tank. You look at, the Rams here, running quarters to this side and basically beating them on a double move here. Really sells this. He knows how to work the pace of the routes. He still understands how to create separation. Good feet, good eyes, commit hard to the inside, and boom, stick that foot in the ground and get upfield, explode past it vertically. And this is such an impressive play from this standpoint. To flip your head around and still track the football. When you have to flip like this, you're still able to track it, bring it in. That's really, really good. Like, the tracking ball skills, exceptional. Not a lot of players will make that type of play. Here's Odell, running those in breakers within the timing of the Dolphins offense. He knows how to work leverage. There are times I do think, he likes to really take his time on his routes. So when, he comes to Miami, he'll have to probably speed up his routes a little bit at times, just because Dolphins really like to get into it. But Odell still doesn't waste too much time on these types of routes. Just good pace. Gives a little bit of a shake at the top of it. Creates that natural separation. Catches the ball in stride. And he's a good runner after the catch. Still has some yak ability. And he's good at just, instantly turning into a threat. Here's versus Miami. He beats Kohu down the field. Kohu actually has pretty good coverage here. Odell just does a good job hand fighting and making a tough catch down there. To be honest, I mean, this was a big play, but still, I mean, Kohu was probably, they give so many big plays where guys were just wide open. This is just how you got to do it. Like this work. Release off the ball, split release. Good timing of it, doesn't waste anything. Hand fighting down the field, track, create late separation, and then show off the situational awareness to get 2 feet in bounds. Great body control, ball skills. Odell still has all of those things left in the tank. This is a nice one where, you take an inside release. Like, this guy has outside leverage. So he takes the inside release, doesn't waste any time. He works that quick, split release, one step, go, the stick, stick and jab. You don't want to go more than 3 steps, which Miami loves to do for the releases. Waste no time. He gets on top of it, fights through the contact, is able to stack him. Now get back on top of him, and then track this over the shoulder after taking the inside release. Very, very impressive. Love that work from Odell. One of, my favorite plays that I watched on film, from the release to, perfect angle to stack on top of him, and then tracking it like that back over the opposite way that you released. Very, very impressed. Here's the slant. Everything timed together super well. He does a great job staying square up the line of scrimmage. Really give himself a two-way go, and then he's just violent with his breaks. Really gets that quick twitch. This guy has inside leverage to the corner. Just gives that hard stab to the outside, freezes him long enough, beats the inside hand, and then boom, catches the slant in stride, and he's gone. He just breaks the angles of the safety. Gonna absolutely kill it in Miami. And he also offers the versatility for Tyreek and Waddle, because with the Dolphins roster, Tyreek and Waddle would, especially when they go in 11 personnel, or personnel packages where there's more receivers on the field, they would have to align on the outside pretty much all the time, just based on what they have. There's only a couple other guys on the roster that can line up on the outside. So having Odell will really help out in that situation, with them being able to go into the slot and get different matchups just based on opponent. So, just allows them to be a little more versatile Another good route by Odell. Definitely has enough left in the tank. And I like that he likes to work his pace, but he still doesn't waste too much time in his route. He's not like dancing around a bunch. He's very precise and swift cuts. Look at the separation, taking that inside release, giving a nod to the inside here, which keeps this DB. The ball just doesn't go to him, but he creates all that separation to get back to the outside. He's a guy that can really run the full route tree still when it comes to Odell, working multiple different situations. Here's just, another example of him working kind of what he would do in Miami. He does a good job flattening his routes too, like the route angles he takes, the adjustments are very, very good. Like sometimes, people float on their routes, they don't get very sharp with it, and he gets sharp down the line, makes the tough catch low and away too. That's what I like to see from OBJ. Definitely an area where, he fits within the offense. Here's like another route where this is something Miami likes to do is Dolphins face a ton of zone coverage, and I think, Odell definitely shows that he can beat man coverage, which is nice. So usually what the Dolphins would face was either they would face a lot of hard press man guys, but when teams weren't comfortable, confident in their press man, they would go hard zone, especially with like a too high shell, because teams didn't want to get beat over the top. So they would run, these types of routes. This is more of like a 7, stop type thing. And he just sits in between the triangle of defenders. This happens all the time. The ball would probably be even out even earlier because Tua is like an anticipatory thrower. So just getting him the ball in these situations, Odell understands where to be, which is nice. Here's him just running the quick speed out. I like the yak after the catch. Or yak after the catch. Same thing pretty much. But yeah, getting those yards after the catch, make him miss. Still has some sauce in his game when it comes to, being fluid. This is where he likes to be a little more, dance it around, is when he has after the catch and he has like a true one-on-one with no one else around. He will give you multiple moves, but within his routes, it's nothing too crazy. He just does everything very efficiently with that, which is why I think Miami likes. If you ever heard McDaniel really talk about players when it comes to that kind of stuff, and this is just another excellent play. Like, we'll go back and look at this from the start. He's facing press at the top, solo side. He boom gives a hard stab. He's using that split release, but gives him that stab to the outside, which gives him that inside path. Now he would be open on that slant, but it's not coming to his side, so he breaks back over to the opposite side. Is now not in a great position, but he uses that hand to create late separation on the DB, track the ball in, still stop and become a threat after the catch. Make some guys miss, maximize his yardage there. That's just beautiful work from Odell. Just from the release to the adjustments. Here's the double move. He's on the single receiver side. You can definitely isolate him. He can work from both sides. Really be a threat like this. Really hits that double move hard, perfectly timed. Would have had a touchdown if the ball's thrown, or ball's thrown there, but Lamar was getting pressured. Love those types of plays from OBJ. And when he does use a double move, it's not too much wasted movement, not too much wasted time, because some guys take some extra time there, and Odell does a good job. He's also very good near the sideline, like this. Boom, situational awareness. Another pretty crisp route. He still runs crisp routes, which is nice, without wasting the time, which is so important with Miami. McDaniel, literally, it's why if you watch Waddle and Tyreek, most of the time they only really would use one or two releases, and then if there's if it's one of those routes where a clear drop back, a true pass drop back, and the receivers have an extra time, they'll give it that extra release timing. But because within Miami that just rarely happens, so it's why you see just the same releases kind of used over and over and over again. And Odell is kind of on that same wavelength of using the same thing pretty much over and over again, just making all the routes look the exact same, which is very good. And he's just very quick twitched as a player, so very much enjoy that. He kind of fits exactly what the offense was missing at the receiver position as your number 3 guy that can align on the outside. He can also do some work within the slot, make a play at all 3 levels, and just fits exactly the offensive scheme. And at 1 year, $3 million with the incentives, I think you got a good deal for exactly what the player you kind of are expecting the production to get. So if you guys did the next, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.